This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez. Eastern Shoshone and Northern Arapaho students will have a crack at a new scholarship at the University of Wyoming. Wyoming Public Radio's Hannah Haberman has more.
UW is creating the Wind River Promise Fund. $250,000 will be available to tribal members to cover undergrad tuition costs and mandatory fees for full-time students. The idea has been going back and forth between tribal members, state legislators, and the university for years. UW trustee Paul Ulrich says the move is something to celebrate.
I think this is a long time coming, and I am absolutely thrilled to death that this motion has been made today.
An additional $2 million will be managed and invested like an endowment. Students must be enrolled tribal members to qualify. They also need to be Wyoming residents and graduate from a Wyoming high school. I'm Hannah Haberman.
Many clean energy initiatives across the country have been hit hard with federal funding freezes and cuts in recent months. But 2 villages in Alaska are considering a project that would harness the energy of ocean waves. Ayolna Naiden with the Alaska Desk reports.
Waves gently hit the shores of Kachemak Bay as ravens croak above on a cloudy night in July. The small village of Port Graham is nested here at the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula. The village may soon convert wave energy into electricity. Danielle Malchev is the first chief of Port Graham.
I have a lot of hope that this is going to be something great for our community.
Chugachmute is a consortium that serves native tribes, including Port Graham and its neighbor, Nanwalek. The consortium announced it had partnered with an Australia-based company, Carnegie Clean Energy, in May. Carnegie has several wave energy projects across the world, but this would be the company's first commercial installment in the U.S. That's according to Louise Richardson, Carnegie's commercial analyst.
One thing at Carnegie that we hope our technology will be able to service in the future is remote communities and isolated communities that might not have access to other forms of renewable energy options.
Port Graham and Nanwalek have no roads connecting them to the rest of the state. Energy costs there are high because the villages are at the edge of the grid and diesel for a backup generator comes on a barge. The electrical lines running from Homer are several decades old, don't have enough capacity, and are unreliable. Malchev says the village loses power several times a month in winter and once every few months in summer.
We have to use satellite phones if our power is out, which isn't very convenient when you're trying to relay and talk to doctors in the ER and you're dealing with a patient.
Malchev says more reliable electricity from wave energy could solve some of those issues. And ideally, the villages can sell any extra energy back to the grid and use that revenue on healthcare and education. The plan is to place a wave energy device offshore from Port Graham. Permitting, testing, and installation of the project might take close to 5 years. In Anchorage, I am Alona Naiden.
Over the weekend, in a social media post, the Gathering of Nations announced its final powwow. KJZZ's Gabriel Pietrorazio has more.
In a Saturday social media post, the Gathering of Nations announced that next year's powwow will be the last dance. It's been an Albuquerque annual tradition beginning in 1983, drawing thousands of performers and spectators from across Turtle Island over the last 4 decades. On the event's website, organizers cited several factors beyond their control, making long-term planning and coordination challenging without specifically saying why. The 43rd Gathering of Nations will happen next April at the New Mexico State Fairgrounds. I'm Gabriel Pietrorazio.
And I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Support by AARP. AARP creates and connects people to unique tools and programs, helps conserve personal resources, and tackles issues that matter most to individuals, families, and communities. More at aarp.org.
Support by Sonosky Chambers Law, championing tribal sovereignty and Native American rights since 1976. From opioids litigation to treaty rights to tribal self-governance. With offices in Washington, D.C., New Mexico, California, and Alaska. Sonosky Chambers Law.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.